Hey now, it's Brace for Impact, and I'm your host, Mike Gilbert, and I'm going solo on that ass, but it's still the same. We're talking Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory. I'm actually not solo. JD's just not here, but I got some homies popping in and out today. Some good friends of mine that were actually at Bound for Glory last night. So God Illa and our buddy Pat, they're both going to join us for a few minutes apiece. But yeah, this is also another COVID edition of Brace for Impact. I talked about it on Thursday. I was kind of bitching and complaining a little bit, and turns out I actually did have COVID. I tested positive last night, which sucks. COVID sucks, not fun. However, because we're stuck in isolation, I was able to just watch my kid while my wife got her homework done, and now I'm able to fuck around with my friends on the internet for a little bit. So we're gonna talk some Bound for Glory, man. And before I bring the guys on, I want to say, despite one issue that I had with the show, I thought it was a tremendous show. Up and down, every match was great. The last two matches I felt like were probably the best 1-2 punch main event, and Impact in a very, very long time. I really did. And I thought Jordynne and Masha Slamovich set a new standard for women's wrestling in America. I thought they showed out. That was like, call this controversial, whatever you want. That was much better than anything I've ever seen in AEW as far as their women's division, bar none. I don't care about the Rosa Britt Baker match where they use the thumbtacks and the tables. This was way better. This was a Japanese strong style women's main event match between two of the very best in the world, and I really enjoyed it. And Eddie Edwards and Josh Alexander showed out too, and I thought they were gonna have trouble topping that match. And sure enough, they had a little slow start. They picked it up, and then they turned in an all-time classic main event for Bound for Glory, and the best Bound for Glory that I've ever covered, honestly. But first, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my boy God Illa.
Oh,
What's up?
what up?
What's up, Illa? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
Doing good, man. So hey, so you were there last night in Albany. How was the crowd, man?
Oh, they were very excited. It was lit, man. The section that I was in, you can hear me? Okay, I lost my
Can hear you
voice.
just fine.
I lost my voice. So, but the crowd was dope, man. Like the whole time, I was looking around the whole time trying to feel out the energy of it, and everybody went there like they were ready to explode. So that was dope. That was real
That's
dope.
cool. That's cool, man. And then so the setup was really cool. They actually had the hard cam facing the crowd this time. And they had the bleachers in the crowd, and so that you could actually see the crowd. It was lit up, and it seemed like everybody was just on fire the whole night. Like they were popping for just about everything.
Yeah, that was like from the jump. Um, you know that a crowd is going to be lit when they going crazy over Dirty Dango. You know what I'm saying? And like when he came out, and I was just like, ugh. And everybody else went crazy. So I was, you know what I mean? So, and
Yeah,
I'm not hating on them, but I was just my personal taste. But you felt the energy there. Like they was right
yeah.
away. They was all in it. So it was a dope feeling. I brought a buddy of mine with me, man, and he had a great time. So it was. I've been to 3 pay-per-views this year, and this was by far the best experience.
Oh, nice, man. Nice,
So,
nice.
you know,
So overall, obviously probably big thumbs up with this, but overall, how would you rate the show overall?
I can't wait to rewatch it on to see how it came across on TV. But I 2 thumbs up for me. The live experience was dope. I was in a dope section of the crowd where everybody was pretty cool outside of 2 dudes behind me that kept saying stupid shit. Like one guy, I'm sorry if I swore. Like one guy called Deanna the tummy princess or something like that, and guy had
Uh,
one of the worst outfits I've ever seen. And it's just like, who? Come on, man. And so
hold
stuff
hold
like
on.
that bothered.
Illa, you've been listening to this show since day one. You've been
You
homie since
know,
day one. Did you just apologize for cussing on Brace for Impact?
you know what? My motherfucking bad.
That's funny. So, hey, what was your favorite match of the show?
Main event, easily like that.
Nice.
Josh is my dude.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like y'all had said the whole time, man. Like you knew it was gonna be a good match, and they
Mhm.
just like the slow build to me is what made it great. And then like they just got into this quick pace and a bunch of really cool near falls or whatnot, and um a lot of props to Eddie Edwards in that
Yeah.
match. Because we know Josh is going to do his thing, but to my knowledge, I think that was Eddie's first chance main eventing Bound for Glory, and he showed the fuck out of him. I think I don't know if I'm right on that, but I think it's the first time I remember
I think
any
you might.
main event.
Yeah,
So
I think he might. I think that might have been his first ever Bound for Glory main event. I think so.
and the match was just killer up and down, man. Like everybody's eyes was glued to it and going crazy. I kept jumping out of my seat, grabbing people, grabbing random people, like oh, like, you know what I mean? Like when Josh did his Joe when he sits you on the apron and he jumps through and hit you in the back through the bottom rope there. When he did that and he kind of jumped from the middle of the ring instead, it was just it was like they knew they was at a big pay-per-view, a big show, and everything they did just made it seem like that. I thought it was gonna be hard to top that the opening match, Kaz and Bailey. So those last two matches, man, crazy.
Crazy. So real quick, 30 seconds. What did you think of Bully Ray returning, and what did you think of him winning the Call Your Shot?
Him returning, I actually loved him winning the Call Your Shot. I wasn't a big fan of, but I get it because I think at the time of having a guy like Bully that you know is probably going to lose against Josh, you can start to build somebody up. So hopefully that's what they'll be doing in the meantime.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, man. I'm really glad and happy that you were able to enjoy the show, and have a great rest of your weekend, buddy.
All right, brother, man. Fuck COVID.
Yes. All right, now, and I'm going to bring on my buddy Pat. Pat, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's
How
up,
you doing?
everybody? Feeling good. Just chilling before I get to these tape.
So you're at the tapings?
I'll be at the tapings in a couple hours. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're going to be at the tapings tonight. So just kind of the same thing. So how overall, what did you think of the show?
I would definitely give it a solid A. There was nothing that I disliked on the show from a match quality standpoint. I was concerned about some of the buildup going in, but every match was able to pull me in, hook, line, sinker. So, had a great time. And like Gilbert pointed out, the crowd was into everything. There was not a point where people were just, sitting on their hands, staring at their phones and whatnot. And, I've been to other Impact shows where it's been like that. So that was really good to see, an engaged audience.
Yeah, man. The crowd was on fire. I felt like the whole night, and you could actually see them on TV, and everybody just seemed into it. And during the Call Your Shot Gauntlet specifically, I had a friend of mine who was working the merch stand, and he was like, "Dude, he goes, nobody's at the merch line. Everybody is glued to this match, and they're all on their feet. Everybody's standing during the entirety of this match. It was insane."
Yep, agreed. Yep.
So, what was your favorite match of the show?
Definitely the Knockouts Championship match. That was definitely the best women's match I've seen recently, but it was so freaking hard hitting. I don't know if I've ever seen, at least in the US, such a hard hitting women's match. They were just, going at each other the whole entire time. It was just a blast to watch and brought a lot of it. Jordynne always brings intensity to these matches, but I felt like she kicked it up another level last night.
Yeah, she did, and I thought she brought something out of Masha Slamovich. I was so impressed by that match. It was so hard hitting, just very physical, very dramatic, great near falls. I thought it was almost like a perfect match. It really was. Just two tremendous wrestlers going at it. Now, so there was a little bit of controversy last night. Bully Ray returned and he won the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. So 2 questions. What did you think of his return? And then what did you think of him winning the Call Your Shot Gauntlet?
So I popped for him returning because I've been waiting for him to show up somewhere for a long time now. And the way they used him during his time in that match, I thought it was perfect. As far as winning it, I'm taking the wait and see approach. I'm not too bothered by it. I did throw this out in the chat last night that perhaps if he's sticking around long term, maybe there's going to be something with Honor No More. Maybe perhaps Eddie gets thrown out of the damn thing for not getting the job done, and that would definitely breathe some life into that. Even though they've gotten some momentum recently.
Yeah, it would make sense because Bully was with those guys as Ring of Honor died, right? Like they were all there as Ring of Honor died, and none of them got picked up by AEW. So it would kind of make sense if he was to kick Eddie out of the group and then join Honor No More. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, Pat. I'm glad you enjoyed the show, and then enjoy the tapings tonight. Feel free to DM some spoilers.
Of course.
I always say I'm going to avoid spoilers, and then I never do. So I'm not even going to try to hide it. I'm just going to read the spoilers. So feel free to pop in my DMs with the spoilers, bro.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself.
Take care.
All right, guys. So that was God Illa, and that was my buddy Pat. Those guys are cool fucking dudes. They've been with Brace for Impact since day one. They've been big supporters of our show, big supporters of all of our projects, and I'm really glad that they were able to go to Bound for Glory last night, and then be able to call into the show. That's really cool. I did send the link out there to some more folks. So as I'm doing my review, some people might pop in, and if they don't, I'm kind of recording in a weird time, so they may not come in, and that's also fine. It's all cool with me. So, but yeah, this is the Bound for Glory recap show. Bound for Glory came live from Albany, New York last night, and on a Friday night, and I thought it was fantastic. Overall, I thought the show was just from start to finish. It was really, really good. We'll go ahead and get into some news. I just want to hit my button. I like my button. I'm gonna hit it. Let me hit it. Boom.
Breaking news.
All right. So we had some breaking news. We've already talked about it. So JD and I last night during the show, we actually had predicted, we gave our top 5 people who we thought were actually going to be in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet because there were 5 spots open. I got 2 of the 5 right. I picked Matt Cardona, who I was picking to win, and Tommy Dreamer, just because I was just like, it's been a while. It's been like a year since that Dark Side of the Ring stuff went down with Tommy Dreamer. And I thought, it was probably time that I figured enough time had passed that they would want to bring him back on TV, and he'd actually done some stuff where he, was an agent backstage, and they'd shown him in some of the vignettes and stuff being an agent. So I was like, it's only a matter of time before they hit that Tommy Dreamer button as a surprise, because that's their favorite button to hit. And to Tommy's credit, he always gets a big pop, and those bastards in Albany gave him a big pop, of course, and so he was. Now that he was brought back, he's actually wrestling tonight at the tapings. But also we saw the returns of Bully Ray. So Bully Ray, former 2-time TNA champion, multiple-time tag champion, TNA Hall of Famer, WWE Hall of Famer, ECW original. One of the, man, if you're probably putting together a top 10 list of main eventers in Impact history, he's probably in that top 10, maybe down at the bottom. He was really, really big during that Hogan Bischoff era. He was the top heel in the company. He was top babyface at one point. And to see him back, look, whenever they hit his music and he was coming to the ring, I was like, oh, cool. He was still wearing the same dumb 5150 shirt that he was wearing 10 years ago on TNA. And so he hasn't really updated his presentation at all. But it kind of looked like, oh, hey, he's just back for like a nostalgia pop. And that's what he got. And he was super over in the match. And so it was good to see him back. I did not like the fact that he, A, won the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, and B, pinned my guy, Steve Macklin. I just felt like, they do the start and stop stuff with Macklin. And every time it feels like they're getting ready to push Macklin, or they're getting ready to elevate the guy, they just cut his legs from under him. They end up having him lose. Look, he won the Barbed Wire Massacre. I was like, okay, great. He beat 2 Impact's top guys. Maybe we're going to do something.Maybe we're going to elevate a young person. That's somebody that's got everything that they're looking for, right? And then he goes into the Call Your Shot. He's a 3rd entrant. He gets a lot of eliminations. He lasts to the final 2, and then he loses to like a 55-year-old fat guy who hasn't been on Impact in a long time. So that's kind of what I thought about that. I thought I was pretty disappointed in that. Impact's trying to shake up their main event scene, and it definitely needs to shake up. They need some more bodies in it, but I just did not think that this was the way to go. I think that you could have still had Bully Ray challenge Josh Alexander without winning this match. You could have had them look, he's a legend, right? You don't really need a whole lot of reason to have Bully Ray get a title shot. He's a legend. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to have him pin Macklin. Macklin needed this. Bully Ray didn't. Bully Ray's done. His career is basically over. He's just here for this one last run. We don't need to put the motherfucker over. I thought that was a waste, but it is what it is. Yeah, so we had Matt Cardona, we had Bully Ray, we had Tommy Dreamer, and then we had Taylor Wilde. Taylor Wilde returned. She'd been long return, or she's been under contract for a couple of years now. She just hasn't been around in a long time. I guess she had some personal issues, and then COVID stuff got in the way. But she looks like she's back. And then of course Rhino from the Heath and Rhino tag team, he is back. He had some surgery, so he was out for a little while. So that was the big news. We also had 2 title changes. We had Frankie Kazarian defeating Speedball Bailey, and then we had the Death Dolls defeating Vexed. So we got new champions there. So a lot of stuff went down. I'll go ahead and get into the recap portion of the show. So on the pre-show, we had Brian Myers. He issued an opening challenge for the Digital Media Championship. And sure enough, Dirty Dango, the artist formerly known as Fandango, who has decided not to be creative at all, keep the same stupid fucking name. He has decided not to update his presentation either. He's just going to be the artist formerly known as Fandango with Dirty Dango. So there you go. But he came in. The crowd popped big for him, and Brian Myers defeated him. But it looks like Dango is going to be in for a while. He said that. He had a tweet that said Impact all day or something like that. So it looks like he's going to be around for a little bit. So we'll see what they do with old Fandango. Hopefully he's losing matches on the pre-shows. Then a highlight video aired of Raven's highlights in TNA and Impact over the years, showing why he was a legend. Tommy Dreamer then inducted Raven, and Raven during his speech went over his whole career. He thanked a lot of people, and then eventually he thanked Tommy Dreamer, saying that their 28-year feud had finally ended before hugging Dreamer, hitting him low blow, and they gave him a DDT. So that was cool. And our friend Josiah said a perfect end to the speech. So really dug that. And then we go to the main card. The first match was Frankie Kazarian defeating Mike Bailey to win the Impact X Division Championship. I thought this match was tremendous. Both guys just worked their asses off. Just a great match. Lots of drama, lots of great near falls. Kazarian is so good, and Speedball is very, very good too. Frankie got the victory here. He tapped out Mike Bailey with the crossface chicken wing. It looked a lot better than the chicken wing than he did on Impact this past Thursday to Kenny King. But I really did enjoy the match. I'm not that mad that Kazarian won because I felt like they need to do something with the Speedball character, although I just wouldn't have done it. I would have kept the belt on Speedball. Frankie doesn't need the title. He's an AEW guy. He doesn't even work here. I thought that it would have been cool to get Speedball this moment on the biggest show of the year against an AEW guy. But hey, they went with Kazarian. Maybe he's sticking around a long time. I don't know. He doesn't work here, but they have him around, so they're gonna put the belt on him, and then it'll be interesting to see who he loses it to. Hopefully, he drops it right back to Speedball in a couple of pay-per-views or so. But it was kind of a nice moment. Look, I don't hate. Look, more Kazarian on my TV, the better. AEW's not really using him, so if Impact can have him for a while, might as well put a belt on him and then see what we can do. And then we need to freshen up this presentation for Speedball Bailey. He needs something, right? He's like, the matches are great, the character's flat. So, and I think that's probably why they went with Kazarian. They're just trying to get a little bit of attention, get a little bit of buzz out there. So, but it's cool. Kazarian is the new X Division champion. Next, we go to Gia Miller interviewing Mickie James about her match with Mia Yim, saying that it wasn't quite time for her to hand the torch over to the next generation. And sure enough, it was not, as Mickie James defeated Mia Yim. Josiah correctly points out that they wanted a reference for Flair at HBK, and it's at one point they did a few of those spots in this match where James was kind of, begging off and, or saying, go ahead, do it. And then it turns out she was playing possum a little bit. But I thought this match was great. It wasn't going to be better than the X Division match, and nobody was expecting it to. This was more of a dramatic match, and I like that. At one point, while they were both on the top rope, James actually kissed Mia Yim, which was kind of weird, but I guess, probably made Keith Lee and Nick Aldis happy. So there you go. But James went for a mitt kick, but Yim caught it and locked on the stretch muffler. Yim hit a German suplex for a 2 count. Yim hit the eat defeat, but James managed to grab the ropes to break up the pinfall. Yim went for the eat defeat again, but James countered with the mitt kick and a Mick DT for the victory, and another really, really good match. So great way to open up the show here. And the next match, we go right into it. So I like the transitions between matches. They just kind of went straight. One match ended, they went to the next video package, and then boom, right into the next match. So not a lot of time wasting, which is something that we see on some of the bigger promotions, mainly WWE. A lot of time wasting in between matches, but these guys are getting right to it. Keep the action fresh. I like it. The Death Dolls, Ty Valkyrie and Jessica, with Rosemary, defeated VXT Vexed, Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green to win the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships. It was a good, fun little match. It did not overstay its welcome. I enjoyed it. Jessica slammed both Vex members onto the mat, hitting a running crossbody on both of them for a 2 count. Valkyrie hit a spear on Purrazzo, but Green hit a pump kick on Valkyrie. Unfortunately for her, she turned around to the Sikishi driver on Green for the pinfall. So I really enjoyed this match. It was a lot of fun. Really liked it. And I like the fact that it was short. It did not overstay its welcome. So good stuff. I like the Death Dolls. I wonder what's happening with Vexed. I know Purrazzo's contract, she's in negotiations. Green's not exactly under contract, but I don't think anybody's really trying to get her into their company. So we'll see what happens with Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo going forward. But I like this new act of the Death Dolls. So, and then we go to the next tag team title match. We got the tag team champions, the Kingdom, defeating the Motor City Machine Guns, and what I would say is a big surprise, because we've been hearing for a while now that the Kingdom might not be re-signing here, and I don't think this is indicative of them signing a long-term deal or anything, but it could mean that they're sticking around for a while, and that's cool. I like the Kingdom, so they're great, and I thought this match was fantastic. I really enjoyed the match. At one point, Bennett super kicked Maria while she was trying to interfere by accident, and maybe they're doing something to where the Kingdom sticks around, and Maria has been super kicked out of the promotion. Maybe maybe they're going to super kick her right over into AEW, which is where she's been trying to go this whole time. Sorry, swig of Coke Zero for the working man. I've been told that drinking Coke Zero while you have COVID is not a good idea, but me doing the show without caffeine is a bad idea. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice on this deal. But this was another fun match. I really enjoyed it. So we'll go to the end here. Maria got on the apron to distract Sabin, and Sabin turned around into a super kick from Bennett, but he ducked and Maria ate it. Taven then rolled up Sabin and put his feet on the ropes to pin Sabin, barely surviving with their tag team titles, which means we're going to get the Kingdom and Impact for a little while longer. And I can't say that's a bad thing. That is a great thing. I love that. And I like the finish. I like that the chicken shit heels cheated to win. I know that makes some people mad, but if you are mad that heels cheat to win in pro wrestling, maybe pro wrestling is not for you. Maybe you need to find something else to do with your time, because you are a silly person if you get mad that heels cheat to win. I was like, oh, they had this great match, but the finish was cheap because the heels had to cheat to win. No shit, Sherlock. That's what heels do. They're supposed to cheat to win, and it's supposed to piss you off, big dummy. Next, we go to the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Bully Ray wins the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. So I'm not going to go to do a blow-by-blow and a play-by-play on this deal, because there's a lot of moving parts. I already told you who the surprises were, but the first two out were Eric Young and Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry was super over. The crowd sung his entrance theme. They did the hand waving, this whole thing while he was on the ring apron. I thought Hendry looked good. I thought he looked like a star. Steve Macklin came out and he looked like a mega star too. He was just super intense. He was great the whole match. And I gotta say, I didn't like the finish, and that's okay. Look, I'm not gonna like the finish of every match. That's fine. But this was the best Call Your Shot Gauntlet in the history of the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. It was 100%. They booked it perfectly, except for the winner. If Macklin would have won, this might have been almost the match of the night. It was that good. And my friend Robert, who was working merch, said, look, dude, everybody's standing this whole time. They're on the edge of their seat for this match. They loved it. And I felt like Bully Ray winning kind of took the wind out of everybody's sails a little bit because they thought they were seeing greatness in front of them. They thought a new star was going to be created in Steve Macklin, and they swept the rug from under him. They cut his legs off as Bully Ray. So I'll go to the finish here. Everybody swarmed Bully Ray, trying to take out the biggest man left. Swan and Fish were eliminated soon after that, leaving Macklin and Bully Ray as the final two, and it became a singles match. They actually, it got super intense there with Bully Ray and Macklin going face to face, jaw jacking. And at one point I was like, man, I really want to see Bully Ray versus Steve Macklin. And I think that we will see that again. But that was awesome. They went back and forth. It was a good little match. It didn't go too long because it was the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. And Bully Ray got to hit the bully bomb on Macklin to get the victory here. Again, not a fan of Bully Ray winning. I was a big fan of his return. I liked seeing him. I'm glad that he's back in the promotion, but I do not like him in the main event slot. Not cool. And next we go to the Impact's Knockout Championship match. Jordynne Grace defeating Masha Slamovich to retain her title. Josiah says that he would have had Slamovich go over here, but I disagreed. I called this going in. I thought Grace was the person that they needed to get behind. They needed to create her as an all-time great champion. She looks the part. She talks the part. She's fantastic. I don't think she has resonated as a babyface quite yet, but I think she's getting there. And I think this is going to continue to get her there. And I think a match between Jordynne Grace and Mickie James in the main event of a pay-per-view is a bigger match than Slamovich and Mickie James. And I think this is where they want to go. They want to get to Grace and Mickie James. And with the shape that Grace is in right now, I think that she is the female to lead this division for a long time. Because look, we don't know what's going to go on with Peraza. We don't know if she's going to stick around. I hope she does. We don't know what's going on with Mia Yim. Tonight might be her last night in the promotion. Who knows? We have no idea. But we do know that Grace is signed long term. I don't know for how long, but she seems to be committed to the promotion. She's turned down other offers before, and I think that if they continue to get behind her, maybe she could stick around for a long time because I think she's perfect for this promotion. She's everything that they're looking for in a female star, and I thought that this match was just tremendous. This was, again, I think they set a new standard here for women's wrestling in North America, or not North America, in the United States. We don't really get these types of matches in America. You have to go to Japan for these types of matches, and both these ladies just showed out. I'll go ahead and do some play-by-play here. Slamovich hit a bridging straight jacket suplex for a 2 count. Slamovich then went for a snowplow, but Grace fought out of it and hit a cop killer for a 2 count, or the vertebraker, whatever you want to call it. Grace went for a lariat, but Slamovich hit a pump kick. Grace blocked the snowplow and hit a Grace driver for a 2 count, and about half of the fans started, "You can't be here," while the other fans chanted, "Yes, you can." It was great stuff. Slamovich hit an air raid crash into the corner and a snowplow, but Grace's foot was under the ropes. That was very dramatic. I love that part. Slamovich put Grace on the top rope, but Grace fought her off and hit a Grace driver off the middle rope for a pinfall. Just an incredible match. It's already in the top 10 Impact matches of the year, or top 10 Impact matches on Cage Match all time. It's in there, and so is Josh Alexander and Eddie Edwards. I just thought that this whole thing was just fantastic. I loved it. Great job, ladies. You were both tremendous. Just insane. And then finally, we go to the Impact World Champion, Josh Alexander, defeating Eddie Edwards to retain the title. Another awesome match, an absolute classic in the main event. And here's word for word, here's verbatim from what Josiah McDonald of the Wrestling Observer said. My buddy Josiah said, "This match was awesome. There's no other way to put it. Edwards and Alexander wrestled in an absolute classic in what had to be the best Impact matches ever, though it does leave a lot of questions about the future of Honor No More and the whole angle where they failed to achieve what they wanted to do with Alexander retaining." I agree. So we're going to see what's going to happen with Eddie Edwards next. And it looks like Josh is pivoting towards Bully Ray. So we'll see. So we'll go to the finish here. So Alexander started bleeding heavily from the nose. This is bad. He was like bleeding like a faucet. Oh, you know what? And at one point, so I wanted to get into this. So at one point, about halfway through the match, Honor No More, so Alexander hit the C4 spike, and then Honor No More hit the ring. And I think that bothered some people, and the term overbooking, and they overbooked it. They had some interferences. Guys, they're heels. They're heels. Eddie Edwards has to cheat to win, right? and it didn't play into the finish. It was actually a great moment in the match. Like, it happened in the middle. They came in. Everybody thought the match was over. Boom. Josh got the big kick out. Dramatic scene. Honor No More gets taken out, and the match continues. And then they went on to just have a badass match. And then we'll go here to the finish. Sorry, COVID cough. Alexander started bleeding heavily from the nose. It was bleeding like a faucet. It was bad. And Edwards started chopping away again. Alexander started firing back, and they both started exchanging slaps and strikes. Edwards spit in the face of Alexander, and Alexander ripped his headgear off and started hitting hard. Edwards dropped Alexander with a brutal lariat, but ate hard forearms from the Alexander, who hit the C4 spike for the pinfall in an incredible match. So this was their attempt at doing a New Japan versus Noah type match. Like, even in the intro, Eddie started talking about his Noah roots, about how he was trained by Masawa, and he was trained by Kobashi, and trained by Kenta, and trained by Marufuji, and they taught him how to win at all costs. And so I thought that really, really was awesome. I wish we would have seen more of that in the lead up on the TV to make the interest in this match a lot more, because I felt like the feud was cold. But we all knew, look, with these two guys, we knew these guys were going to show out. It had to happen. So great match. Just a tremendous stuff here. And then after the match, Honor No More immediately hit the ring, and they attacked Alexander. Heath and Rich Swann came to make the save, but Honor No More got the best of them. And then so the fans then start chanting, bully, bully, bull. And I was just like, oh no, they're chanting bully. What the hell's going on? And then sure enough, Bully Ray comes out, and he's carrying his trophy in his hand, the bowling trophy that Impact gave him for winning the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. And comes down to the ring, and he dramatically sits, like, he's a pro, by the way. Like, he knows exactly what he's doing. He sets it on the ring apron. He gets up, and then Honor No More kind of parts the sea a little bit, and they're saying, here, we laid out Josh. You can have him call your shot right now. Call your shot right now. Teasing what happened last year with Moose. And Alexander gets up, Bully and Josh go face to face, and then they do a little nod, and then they attack Honor No More. They clear the ring, and then they had a face off as the show ended. And I thought that was a good way to end the show. But I don't like Bully Ray being in this match just yet. So we'll see everything that happens with Bully Ray. Hold on, Lucha. If you can hear me, hold on just a second. I'm going to get you on. Lucha Doncic is in the green room. But I just don't know how I feel about Bully Ray being in the challenger. If he didn't beat Macklin, I would be fine. If he didn't win the Call Your Shot, I'd be fine. I do like him being back in the promotion. I don't like the spot that he's being put in. All the spotlight being put on him when we couldn't get Ace Austin and Chris Bay on the damn show. We have Bully Ray taking a lot of the spotlight. All right. That's it for my review, but let's bring on Lucha Doncic, who is driving right now.
Hell yeah.
Lucha.
Yeah.
What up, homie?
What's happening? What up, though?
Yo, man. So what'd you think overall? What are your thoughts on the show, bro?
Bro, they were live in fucking Albany. They were live out there. I loved it. The crowd was hype. The venue actually looked kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did it up a good little way. They packed it, had to turn away folks, from what I understand. But either they had to turn them away, or they just, opened up shit. But either way, it was good. So I'm here for it.
Oh, hold on, Lucha. I can't hear you. Hold on just a second. All right. I think we lost Lucha. Hold on. I'm going to try to add him back to the stream. Lucha, you there? All right. We lost Lucha. I'm going to kick him out the green room really quick. Oh, hold on. Here, Lucha, are you back? Hey, are you back?
Went through some trees. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, man. So you liked the Albany crowd? They were lit. What did you think about Bully Ray winning the Call Your Shot Gauntlet? Oh man, I think we lost him again. All right, I think we lost Lucha Doncic. He's
Pulled
okay.
over.
Oh, you pulled over. Okay, cool, man. That's what's up. Okay, I got you in. So, what did you think overall? What are your overall thoughts on the show, man?
Crazy.
Oh man, you keep cutting out, bro. Let's try it again. One more time.
Good show, entertainment wise, weird booking.
Yeah. So I thought it was probably the best Bound for Glory I've seen in a long, long time. Would do you agree?
Yes, most definitely. It had me more than last year.
Oh yeah, no, definitely way better than last year. Obviously way better than the pandemic one. And then I'm trying to think of when the last time I'm trying to think of the last time Bound for Glory was actually better than Slammiversary, and I can't remember the last time that happened, but I think this year is it, man.
I don't think it's ever happened.
No, Slammiversary, like Bound for Glory is always the biggest show of the year, but Slammiversary is usually the better show. It's like usually the funner show to watch. And but I thought I think this year topped it.
Yeah, for sure.
So okay, it looks like you're clear now. What did you think of Bully winning the Call Your Shot?
I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna watch and see what happens before I pass judgment. Initially, I wasn't here for it, but I'm gonna wait and see what happens.
Okay, you want to know what JD thinks? Hold on, I'm gonna bring on Salty JD. Let's bring in Salty JD. Hold on, just a sec.
Everything I hate about professional wrestling. Everything I hate about wrestling is summed up into this one, and it doesn't matter if it's men or women, dogs. It does not matter. This is everything wrong with modern professional wrestling. Summed up right here.
Sorry, I had to get long-haired Salty JD back on the show.
Love it.
Oh, well, hey, what was your favorite match on the show?
Fuck, it's a 3-way tie between all the world title matches. Honestly, the tag, knockouts, and the world title. It's a 3-way tie on those three.
Lucha, you did the same shit to me last time, man. You got to make a decision, bro. Come on now.
It ain't my fault that they go out and fucking tear it down like this. Okay, gun to my head, Jordynne, Masha. Gun to my head.
There you go. That's my man. That's my man. Yeah, no, dude. Honestly, that it's a very hard decision. I have gone back and forth between Jordynne, Masha, and Alexander and Eddie Edwards. If you ask me today, I'm probably gonna tell you it's Jordynne, Masha. You ask me tomorrow, I might say Josh and Eddie. Honestly, like that. And then I think number 3 for me was the X Division thing, but I thought that match was fucking incredible too. I think you had 3 matches over 4 stars each, easy. On the show, making it one of the top pay-per-views of the year for me. And then honestly, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, I would put that like right around that 4-star, 4.25 star mark too, even though I didn't like the finish. Like I disagree with the booking of the finish, but I thought that match was a lot of fun. I thought it was great.
Look, there was no Kiss Demon, so that there off rip just sets us off, you know what I'm saying, on a good path. Yeah. But I feel you on that. Also, the German suplex around the world from Josh to Eddie. Ooh. Oh my God. That was spot of the night for sure for me.
Yeah, dude, that shit was incredible, man. Well, hey, thank you for pulling over and interrupting. You're leaving work, you're heading home right now, but you took the time to call into the show. I appreciate you, my brother, man. You always been a big supporter of ours, and follow your show. It's on TNA IW, right? The TNA IW YouTube, right? Go ahead and give a plug.
Yes, sir. Follow us on YouTube, talking nonsense about Impact Wrestling. Check us out on Twitch, same name. We go live on Twitch Sunday at 8, and at 10 he throws it on YouTube, so it'll be right there for you. I'll be there tomorrow with my full opinion on the show, so y'all come and catch your boy.
Yeah, and go say hi to the homie Jeff, man. One of the legit good dudes in podcasting out there. One of the most creative dudes. Has some of the best visual graphics and everything, man. Has a cool crew over there. They've been very helpful to me. So big shout out to Jeff over there too, and the TNA IW crew. All right, Lucha, man, I'm gonna let you go. Have a great weekend. All right.
All right, bro. Shout out Diamond Villain. Shout out Mike G as always.
All right, brother. All right, and that was your boy Lucha Doncic driving home, man, and he called into the show. Well, hey guys, I think we've said it all. I think we've done it all. I think they're in Albany tonight. They're doing some tapings, and it should be fun, man. It should be a fun time. I'm interested to see what happens coming out of the tapings. They did announce that Sami Callihan and Moose are going to be in a street fight tonight, but they said that it's going to be for the live audience only. So I don't know if it's actually going to be on TV or not. That was pretty interesting. And they're going to have Ace Austin and Chris Bay taking on Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray. And I think that if Austin and Bay lose, I might riot. So hopefully Tommy Dreamer's taking the pin there. So there's some shenanigans. And then most people don't know this, but Juice Robinson was actually at the show last night. Austin, Bay, and Robinson wrestled Laredo Kid, Alex Zane, and Trey Miguel on not on the pre-show, in a dark match on the show. So I don't even know if that was recorded for television or if it's going to be released on social media in the week. But yeah, they were there last night. Juice Robinson's in town. He's probably going to be at the tapings tonight, so we'll see what happens with old Juice. But hey, everybody, thank you for joining us on the Bound for Glory recap. I want to thank Pat and Illa and Lucha Doncic, of course. Big shout out to everybody. Shout out to Josiah for posting an incredible recap there on the Wrestling Observer. He is the new Wrestling Observer recap guy for Impact Wrestling. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to Gerard, Nonzo, everybody, JD, Scott Young, BQ, everybody in the BFI chat. And your boy, Mike Gilbert. We are out. Mahalo.